get into a little presentation on happy wife, happy life. You agree in that concept? Hi, Didi. Go to the job. Just saying. Yeah, man. How many of y'all agree with happy wife, happy life? If you do, put some ones in the chat. If you don't, put some twos in the chat. Spicy. Got one person that don't believe in it. If you agree with the concept, happy wife, happy life. Ones in the chat if you do, twos in the chat if you don't. We'll see how much noise we can make. Ones for yes, twos for no. Sit your head down some damn well. Anyway, so, we've all heard it before. Happy wife, happy life. And some of us has even accepted it in our relationship. A lot of people agree with it. A lot of people don't. So, so for years, right, happy wife, happy life has been tossed around as relationship advice. Like I said, we've accepted it. Some of us haven't. On the surface, it sounds all lighthearted, little nugget of wisdom, suggesting that if a man keeps his wife happy, then his life will be smooth. Now, let me stop right there. For the dudes that are in here who have accepted happy wife, happy life, was your life smooth? Or is your life going smooth? So, right, but if we look closer, there's a problem. There's a big problem with that saying. It quietly reinforces that the husband happiness doesn't matter. And normally that's how it goes, right? Look at Father's Day, right? We get the same old pair of socks and drawers, the same old cologne box, and we keep it pushing, right? Don't nobody care about the dads. Don't nobody care about the husbands. It's all about the moms, all about the wife. So, it implies that the relationship only works when the woman needs are met. But is she ever happy? Like truly happy? Like with the modern mindset, it's hard to please anybody, you know, especially especially women. But it's cool. So her needs are met while the man should sacrifice his own joy, desire, or peace of mind. And even when we do sacrifice some of those things, we still don't get peace. We still sacrifice. We still are in an uneasy spot. But hey, we keep on going because we love her. That's what the fuck we supposed to do. Right? You're supposed to sacrifice. Right? Keep it pushing. But that's not a partnership though. That's an imbalance. And we all know how imbalances go. Doesn't work. Right? And so think about it. If your foundation of a relationship is built on keeping one person happy, right? Or one person satisfied, or you know, that's not that's not love, right? We wouldn't feel love. That's more like a maintenance, right? Like, how can you say that you love your partner, but it's all about you? It treats marriage like a job instead of a union. And a lot of people will go as far as to say that marriage is a contract. And the modern marriage, when we get the courts, legal systems involved, yeah, it is the contract. People are marrying for the wrong reasons, in my opinion. So, relationships are supposed to be a shared journey, not a one-side service con- not a one-sided service contract. Because what then resentment is going to build. I'm going to be looking at you weirdly. You know, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Or you're going to be looking at me that way if, we find a snazzy phrase that goes for husband. Can't make up one because what would rhyme with husband? Oh, man. Um, so the problem with one-sided happiness, you know, when only one person's happiness becomes the focus, the relationship shifts into dangerous territory. Like I said, resentment builds, communication isn't there, or was been, because he was the husband, right? But communication weakens. And we all know once you feel that your partner isn't communicating with you anymore, or less than he or she was, all kinds of craziness goes through our heads, right? And so, yeah, communications weakens, and we all know how uneasy and awkward it feels when we can sense that our partner silent treatment, is no longer interested in us, or he or she is just pulling back. You know, you know how uncomfortable that feels. So, and in that moment, love becomes transactional. You know, a game of giving to one person, a game of giving to one person while the other is left empty. Right? That's oh Lord, goodness. So, you know, true partnership isn't about catering to one side. It's about mutual care, mutual respect, and mutual joy. Both parties should feel respected, should have joy, and should feel cared about. Because we don't let's be honest. We don't want to be with somebody who we feel like, don't care about us, that don't feel safe with us, right? So if the husband is miserable, blah, 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 blah. If the husband is miserable, the family feels it, right? He come in there grumpy all the time, irritated with everything you say, everything just pisses him off. Everybody feels it. Oh my God, what's wrong with that? In the same way, if the wife feels unseen, the house suffers too, because she will express her feelings and emotions like none other, right? And she has no problem with letting individuals know how she feels. So one issue or one side of the issue isn't more powerful or holds more weight than the other. That's how problems in a relationship occur. One sided thing. So, you know, a healthy relationship thrives when both people feel safe enough to express their needs. That way, love isn't a scoreboard of sacrifices. Oh, after all I did for you, I did this and that and that and this, and I let this go and I put this on hold to, we've all heard it before. Whether if we didn't hear it, directed towards us or us directing it towards somebody else, we've heard it. I've heard it thousands of times on movies and shit. I've seen it, not thousands, but I've seen it face to face many times, time and time again. She is going to be, so, we can't, everybody has to be heard, right? And, you know, so, it's not a scoreboard of sacrifices, but an ongoing exchange of energy and support, right? Because, hey, I got your back, you got my back. When I'm down, you carry the load. When you down, I'ma carry the load. But, as society says, man's supposed to do all of it. I've accepted that part because that's what I've seen as an example of a healthy relationship. You know, my granddad was that dude, right? And Granny didn't have to do nothing but just sit back and stack her change. Whatever change that she got, and that's the type of relationship I want to have. I want to have something where I could say, yeah, man, that's exactly, of course, with some tweaks here and there. Because, hey, man, let's be real, right? Even though my grandpa was him, grandpa was a little simp, right? He was a little simp. So, but during that age, it was they were very they were very, very accepting of the concept of making their woman having the easiest life possible. And within that concept, we kind of enabled her in a way, and she got a little bit loose with the lips, a little bit disrespectful, and now we get the shit that we get today. And it's just happy wife, happy life has little to do with it. Hey, Gramps was him. Gramps taught me how to drive. Gramps taught me how to talk to women, but I didn't, you know, exemplify any of that until later in life. But he laid it out there for me. So when both partners feel heard, both can freely give. And that right there, that's where real intimacy grows, where I can have that space to come, you know, be vulnerable to you. And vice versa. It's not a one-sided relationship, right? We gotta make sure that we are doing what we are supposed to be doing for the relationship to go smoothly, the way that we envision it. Not on those ego type deal, but really harmonious type living. And so for those who know me, I don't say happy life comes from having a happy wife. Happy wife, happy life, nah. Um, but it does include her. It just doesn't cater solely to her. Um, what y'all think about happy spouse, happy house? It's healthier. It's healthier. It gives all included parties the opportunity to become accountable, be aware of their own actions, right? But a wise person once said that it's not up to anybody else for me to be happy or you to be happy, right? That's nobody else's responsibility. Like true happiness, it's on the inside. And things being on the inside is becoming a cliche but it's so true. Like, growth happens on the inside, healing takes place on the inside. Hell, the Bible says the kingdom of heaven is within. Everything is inside. Just saying. Just saying. So, like I said, it's an upgrade to something healthier. Happy spouse, happy house. It's simple, balanced, and don't forget the need to, we gotta say, we also have to include it's powerful, right? It reminds us that both people's, all included parties, well-beings creates harmony in the house. Now I get it. If your partner is having a bad day, you cannot find the words, to assist them on calming down. Just give them a little time. I'm not, but I've been called that before. I've been called that several times. I'm not, I don't, I just think that this is healthy advice. And if that's looked at or and viewed as being a relationship guru, then so be it. You know, and when all included spouses feel loved, supported, and valued, the relationship flourishes, right? So, for those that don't know, my spouse is in the comments right there, Didi Malone. It was very rocky at first, like very rocky. We met not your traditional way, and that caused a lot of issues, a lot of tug and war, a lot of battles, right? And there was some things that I had to stop doing that I did, to make things work on my end. And of course, she had to do some things on her end. Um, but since we are both conscious on our actions and the way we treat one another, I think I have a pretty well flourished relationship. Who won the war? I think we both did. You know, and once we stop battling each other, you know, things got smoother. Do we still have problems? Yeah, we do. But we work them out. I feel heard. She feels heard. As men, we don't feel valued in the relationship. We don't feel respected. Um, I do in this case. You know, it's it's things that we and when I say we, I meant like collectively everybody. It's things that we have accepted, like Paul say, bumper sticker sayings. It's a lot of them. And those are the ones we got to let go, because it caters to one side in some cases. Either way. And a lot of it just sounds silly. Just sounds silly. So, and when the relationship flourishes, the home becomes a safe, nurturing space for everyone. And it shows through if you have kids or not. Because as adults, when we get in public, we can put on a mask that everything is fine. But kids, they don't know anything about a filter. They haven't found their filter button yet, right? And so the way the home is going to show up through the kids. Whether if you're out as a family or the kids are just out doing their own thing, and you know how freely kids just blabber off at the mouth, just dry snitching, just dry snitching on the house. So, the new phrase, it shifts the culture of relationships away from gender roles as stereotypes, gender stereotypes, that caters to one another. Now we're not talking about, safety issues because, in my house, yeah, fuck yeah. When it comes to safety issues, fuck yeah, there are gender roles. Yeah, and I get pissed off if, you know, not to where, I'm just gonna have a bad day, but I do be feeling some type of way if she was to take the trash out at night. Yeah, I know she's a grown woman, but nah, I don't trust people, especially other men. At night, in my environment where I stay in my hood, no, chief, no, G, no, G, yeah. So, it shifts the culture of relationships away from gender stereotypes and into the reality of more modern love, but under ancient principles. It takes all included parties to show up, checking in, and choosing each other every day. Now, this just don't mean that you just go out and fucking, just because, oh, I got a lady at the house and, I got to make her happy. No, she's responsible for her own happiness. But you can give her reasons, examples that she should not be anything other than happy. Whatever that looks like in your relationship. You know, a strong house isn't built on one person's happiness. It's built on teamwork, right? And this shift matters because it honors both parties. Neither happiness is placed above the other. It creates teamwork, as I just mentioned. All right. Hey, I'm 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 down today, man. Life has kicked my ass today. Whether this be hurt or him talking. Babe, do you want to talk about it? Tell me about it while I rub your feet or rub your shoulders. However it goes in your house. You know, teamwork is a relationship where everybody is rowing in the same direction, right? Not one person steering and the other person just paddle. Hell no. And another person just sitting back chilling. And, however many people is in your relationship, you know. Now, now, don't take this the wrong way, right? It's not a trigger warning, but this could give a false narrative, or it could be misleading. No, um, this shift also models equality. Wait, not equality as in I can do what you do and you can do what I do. Fuck no, not that type of equality when it comes to one's emotions and feelings and validations and what they have to say and how they see it. Their perspective, they matter just as now. Just because it matters, it may not go with what's going on. So it can be considered, but it just might not be used. She's outside. Outside? Mama, outside? Yes. You know, remember I was saying about the children? Because your children are watching and the friends are watching. And if you have observant friends, they can tell. They may not can tell what's going on, but they can tell that something's going on. And it ain't right. Or it's not normal. You know. And it shows in your partner. If you are not treating your partner right, it's going to show on their face out in public. We see how many celebrity pictures we've seen, and it's always the dude, always got the big smile on his face, and she's leaned the other way with a big ass unit on her face, frowned up, face folded all the way up, because she ain't feeling his vibe no more for whatever reason. It shows, you know. So when both partners' happiness is prioritized, it strengthens resilience. Challenges don't feel so heavy because no one is carrying the burden alone, right? Picture 5 people carrying something that weighs 375 pounds. I'll let y'all do the math and see how much weight they each will distribute, you know, how much the weight will distribute to each one of them versus that one person, or just one person carrying something that's 375 pounds. It's much easier. It's much easier when everybody works together, not against each other. Right? So, don't come in here with the noise, please don't. So, you know, both are equally invested, both are equally supported, both or all included parties, you know, are equally celebrated. You know, that's how a relationship builds longevity. That's a strong bond between them. And when a bond is strong, nothing can come between it. Nothing can break it apart. Not even the fucking jaws of life. And they use that damn thing to save lives. You know, you know, the relationship builds. What are you trying to hide? I can see you. How you trying to hide it? Give it here if that's what you want. Up here trying to hide it. That would make me say no by trying to hide it. Just say yes. And if the answer is no, it's just no. You don't squeeze it. Hey, leave it in there. And so, that's how relationships build longevity. Out of fucking way. And sometimes you got to talk to your children like that. Oh my gosh, he cursed at his job. No, I don't curse at anyone, but I do use profanity. Hell yeah. Somebody called DCF. um, it builds longevity. Not through catchy sayings, happy wife, happy life. Even though happy spouse, happy house, it's pretty catchy itself, you know, but we don't need any catchy sayings, but intentional balance. So, you know, language shapes cultures. Phrases we repeat sink into our subconscious and guide our expectations. You know, and by stop saying that shit, we'll sound a lot smarter. Things will get done in a balanced way. We stop saying happy wife, happy life shit and start embracing. We don't have to say it. We don't have to say it, but embrace happy spouse, happy house. That way we move from an outdated gender roles, right? Right? Because some of these roles can go in the trash can. Some of them can. But we go from outdated gender roles toward a true partnership, right? Because real love isn't about one person this or one person's that or this person is more value than the other. It's about people thriving together, man. You know, a happy house doesn't come from silencing somebody. You know, one voice amplifying over the other. You know, it comes from creating harmony and shit. And, you know, where the energy goes, where the mind goes, energy flows. Right? And you're going to say whatever it is that you think needs to be said. And every voice matters. Every need counts. And every art should feel at home. And if we're not checking off those boxes back there, hold on. Just be quiet. Well, spouse should be quiet as a mouse. If that's what the situation calls for. Yeah. Like, okay, a dude, okay, a dude is the only dude in the area listening to a bunch of women talk. Like, he with the group, but they talking about women shit. Shut your mouth, dude. Hush. That ain't got shit to do with you. Hush. Don't say shit. Stay out of it. That spouse should be quiet as a mouse. You know? so yeah. Um, you know, so yeah. If y'all, yeah, man. So, you know, we've accepted a lot of things that are harmful in a relationship, and we think that it's healthy because it caters to us, right? Like, it's some things that dudes can do that females can't. And it's some dudes, and if she did some of the things that he did, she will be looked at with the side eye. And the same thing that go for him. If we get caught doing something that she should be doing, he gonna have to question his manhood, right? So we gotta. it's a lot of things that we gotta stop doing. We gotta stop saying. But I mean, in order for us to stop saying and stop doing some of these things, we're gonna have to change our perspective and understand. Well, first you're gonna have to peep and see that it's a problem for you to change. Doing something or stop doing something. We gotta rationalize and see if it really should be not done anymore. What wisdom? And you take it, I said no. Well, it's like, well, you're just gonna have to wait till it's your turn. Okay. Okay. Mhm. So, so yeah, y'all. What y'all think about happy wife, happy life? And what do you think about happy spouse, happy house? What do you think about that one too? That's what I go by in my house. Now I don't know what my lady go by in her head, but that's what I go by in my house. And when I'm not happy, the whole house ain't happy. God. Y'all, I mean, y'all don't have to, but are y'all gonna? Great, awesome that you agree. So I gotta, I got a question for you though. Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot in front of the company. Um, did you subscribe to the happy wife, happy life concept? Or you once a subscriber to that membership? You wanted a subscription? You should go with that if she hasn't been to therapy. I've been called therapist. You haven't? Hmm. Well, so how is happy wild blah blah? I keep wanting to say that shit. How is happy spouse, happy house? How are you? How is that experience for you? And I don't know what she's gonna say, y'all. So let's hope she don't embarrass me. Let's hope. Hopefully, I've been a good dude and not just thinking. Because it's one thing to think you something and you're not. He said unbearable. Yeah. Oh man, not unbearable. Oh man, need a pound just to get by. Golly. And she don't even smoke. Oh my goodness. No. Oh man. Not in 2 pounds. Yeah. See, hey, I told y'all. Told you I'm a fucking lot to deal with. So if I ever if I'm ever on the market, just know that I come with 2 pounds worth of problems. And not 2 pounds as as far as 2 pounds is nothing. No, that's how much you're gonna need. You're gonna need 2 pounds to blow. And you're gonna probably ain't no telling what you're gonna need. Oh, jokes. But yeah, man. Um, so it's some things that dudes we got to stop doing all together. Ladies, we ain't even gonna. Y'all already know that. It's a bunch of podcasts and videos going around. You know, offering advice, offering advice that I think it's helpful. I think it's helpful. Now some bullshit out there that be on some bullshit, and even even as a dude, I be like, nah, man, nah, that's some bull.
Uh-huh. See, you wanted to talk some stuff down there in the chat. I had to come on up here and confront you straight up. Nah, what you got to say? Ribs? What a what a sweet baby Ray's at?
Um,
The Vidalia onion style.
what's going
Uh,
on, Dad? How are you?
I was joking, but I was not. Uh, no, it doesn't make sense to do no happy wife, happy life, especially if she hasn't worked on herself and done her shadow work, or even went to therapy.
So
Because you twisting and turning yourself into pretzels over something that, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, it may not be worth it in the end, or she continues to move the goalposts, giving you different obstacles to jump through. You know, we complain. Well, we hear the complaints often. You know, hard to please type shit.
I have a question. Is she
Yeah,
capable? Is she capable of being happy? Now, I know what you're going to say. Yes, everybody is capable. I got it.
I don't.
But you
No,
know
no.
what I
I was.
mean.
I know what you mean, but I was like actually thinking because I don't think she is like at this moment. Yes, everybody is capable, but at the moment, I don't think she is. And
Yeah.
this ain't no shot at her, but is she has to go through a lot dealing with our bullshit, and the way that she gets treated, goddamn single mom, goddamn work was not taught how to properly release her emotions, and so
Mm.
she blows up, and so
Ooh.
it's like she has a lot to deal with. So at this moment,
Are you giving?
I'm
Are
good.
you? Is that a valid reason, or are you giving an excuse right now?
I mean, it's
It's coming out. It's sounding excuses a little bit, like you giving
it
somebody a
it's a conditioning that was done. So it's like
conditions are conditions are conditions. If
it's
I'm
like
born if I'm born in a
right,
war
right.
zone, I gotta make it out.
But check it though. So I mean, if somebody slips into a certain mindset due to a condition, we have to acknowledge that. Yeah, I mean, at any time, if a person truly puts in work, they can get out of any situation. But the falling into that mindset, I mean, that can be a
What if this?
unbearable.
Well, I was about to say, what if this person's depressed and you trying to cater yourself and turn yourself into a oppressor, trying to make, and you might not be capable. Who
Right, right.
you're not no
That
psychologist. You not know what you call it.
so he or she would have to take the first step, whatever the first step is,
But what if they
to
don't think? But what if they blaming their unhappiness on things you're not doing? Hey, if you was doing this and this and this, I would be happy. Then you start doing this and this and this, and then they still not happy. The goalposts move.
right. I, at that point, um, however big their threshold is comes into play. Um, when you get tired of it, hey, check her ass or leave the situation. One or two, or his ass, whoever.
You,
Check
hey,
them
you,
or
wait.
goddamn into the situation, shit. And we
Nah,
know that leaving, especially if you really care and love this person, leaving them, because you're the issue. That may be a hard thing to do.
but leaving somebody because they're the issue.
Leaving somebody, yeah,
I hear
you
you.
know.
No, you said something. You brought up something. Single mom, and I heard somebody say something today. And I was like, God damn. And they talking about all these people struggling to find husbands, right?
Mhm.
But the reason the reason all these women are struggling to find husbands is because they was raised by singles moms who taught them how to be single moms, not wives.
Send all your hate mail to I am Australia G readings at gmail.com.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I'm just saying. What do you think of? Hey, what do you think about that? What do you think
Oh,
of? I
no,
heard the video. I was like,
I agree with that. I agree with that. Like, right, because like a lot of ladies get their relationship advice from single women.
hey, girl, go out there, be independent. You got to do. Hey, that's single. That's single. That's not wife mentality.
Right.
All that independent stuff.
That's one might say that's a masculine trait. But they were
But
taught.
wait. So
They were
wait.
taught how to behave that way.
But
You
if
know,
that's a
and
masculine, if that's a masculine trait, and you wonder why you can get a masculine male, because that masculine male ain't gay.
okay, a relationship takes work, and there's always going to be something you wish they didn't do or did more of, but it's accepting them for who they are that matters. Should I accept, Desiree, me and you're in a relationship? You constantly go out there. I give you my check every Friday. You blow it up. You don't do nothing I told you to do with it. I should accept you for being the irresponsible financial person. No, man, we gonna get you in some financial literacy classes. We gonna goddamn, we gonna get your ass together. I'm not accepting anything less than greatness because I try not to bring anything less than greatness.
Yes, but then you also have to ask yourself and ask that person if they want greatness too, because at that point you're going to be leading a horse to water and wondering why they ain't drinking. The reason they
Well,
ain't drinking is
I'm
because
not,
they never wanted to be great.
I shouldn't have to ask them because if I'm leading by example, right? I'm leading by example. If you're paying attention, you gonna follow suit. You gonna do the necessary things you need to do. Now,
Some hey,
if you're
no,
not,
some people just want to watch the show, dog. I'm just here for the show.
and guess what? This ain't the show. Wrong channel, buddy.
Okay, so should that person sit up there and try to work with this person and hey, I want to be great. You don't want to be great? Come on, it's greatness. Everybody should strive for that. No, everybody shouldn't strive for that because everybody don't want greatness. Some people want to just float.
Drake said it in the song. I guess I'm not that inspirable, or whatever the fuck he said, or inspirational. Um, because there's some things that my lady do, and like, damn, that make me wanna, do X, Y, or Z. And if I'm growing, or whoever in the relationship, if I'm growing, and she likes what she sees, she's going to work to grow too. Or she see me being great, that should be inspiration. It should be. Notice I'm saying should be. It should be inspirational enough for her to become great. Now,
Or
if
what if you making them feel self conscious about what they're not doing because what you're doing.
if I'm not saying you should be doing this, and if it's just my actions alone that has you feeling that way, that's on you. That's that's on you. That's like beating up your spouse when they're down, or beating up anybody when they're down.
Mm.
Like like no,
I got a question for you.
I might have an answer.
Oh no, you're gonna have an answer. Yes or no? When emotions walk in the door, logic walks out.
I think that's circumstantial. I think that depends on the individual.
Being general,
Yes.
does
Generally
emotion
speaking, yes.
is emotions and logic like oil and water?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. Here's a question: are women emotional creatures?
Yes.
Is now here's the question: does it sound logical to cater to that? To cater to emotions that is illogical.
Oh no.
So the thing is, happy what's up, Mister? Happy wife, happy life, but happiness is an emotional thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so if you're catering to that, would that mean or lead you to do some illogical things.
Yes, it would.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So to me, they need to leave that bumper sticker saying on the bumper.
Can a woman be both logical but driven by emotion? Anything is possible. But you know how long she has been out of that space? Like she hasn't been in that space in a few a million years. Oh, but yes, she can be. But today, she
How much work does that take? For not just a woman, anybody.
tons. And, this ain't no just you can't go on you can't read the summary on this book. You gotta you, you gotta goddamn sit down and take your time with this shit because once we start asking for emotional maturity, emotional stability, emotional intelligence, man, we gonna get everything to push us out of that energy in our space for us to work on that. But how many people, oh my God, they think avoiding the problem and running away is fixing it. And a lot of people think that way today, which is unhealthy than a motherfucker. You do nothing for the situation, and ultimately you do nothing for yourself. You don't learn anything, you don't gain any wisdom, and you ain't got no game to give to the next person. So what the fuck is you doing?
Now, I want to say that doesn't mean someone who um, is logical doesn't get into emotional situations, but let the emotions pass, and then to let the logic enter back into the room before making decisions.
Go ask them to play. Okay, okay. Women do grow emotional maturity sooner than men.
That's a bumper sticker saying.
Men do get emotional. Yes, we do. And and I think we are more emotional than ladies. We just don't act on it like y'all do. We'll crash out, take it out on another dude in the midst of him fucking with us, right? But when y'all get emotional, everybody feels
And,
it. Everybody.
when we get emotional, though, mental with somebody else, another male, well, we do get emotional, but logic is still there
Yes.
because we don't have no protections. Hey, can I take this dude or not?
Right.
And if I can't take this dude, logic got to kick in because we are programmed to survive. We can't, us as guys, can't always hide behind shit. And hey, I could pop off. Hey, you can't hit me because you're gonna go to jail. So I can say any fucking thing I want to. Okay, come against the wrong dude that don't play by them rules, and you're gonna get the shit
Okay.
smacked the fuck out of you.
Yeah, and and to add what you were saying, when we do get emotional, I know when I'm trying to get to the house, I'm trying to go home, and I can't be at home up here wrestling with you and either shoot or get shot. And I ain't trying to have none of that shit go on. And when dudes is in that space, hell yeah, we think about everything, every contingency plan. We think about every outcome that can occur, that will occur. We fucking think about it. Then we wait up. No. Go. Y'all let him play. God damn. Give him something to play with.
The subject of the live is, does happy wife, happy life. The subject ain't happy husband. That ain't the same.
Nah.
We ain't talking about the male's emotions.
And so, you know, with this happy spouse, happy house, you know, and if she in order for that to work, she's gonna have to agree to that. Cause you gonna talk to any dude, I'm pretty sure hell yeah, I rock with that shit. Fuck yeah. Cause this happy wife, happy life shit, I'm tired of that shit.
Yeah, yeah, but then again, a lot of people just go with the saying, man, because
But
people
you have
don't
to
people.
embrace it.
Well, I'm saying people lack courage to say, "Hey, that sounds like some bullshit." At that point, you're gonna be the odd man out, and don't
That's
nobody want to be that way.
and you're right.
I ain't saying you. I know you ain't like that. I'm saying, let's put it in the norm. Hey, we in a group of 10. Everybody, we put the kind happy wife. How many dudes is actually gonna be that one dude out the 10 and say, "Hey, dog, nah, it don't roll like that." Because what's gonna happen at that point? All the other 9 go on look at him and be like, "Dude, what you talking about?" Don't nobody want to stand on their square. But if you don't mind standing on your square like that, you'll say that shit. No, bro, and shut your simp ass up.
And that's what it is. At the end of the day,
That's what it
that's
is.
what
That's what I
it is.
said.
That's what it is. Shit. Cause he only saying that shit because he gonna want to get some snap at the end of the night. Or whenever. He gonna want the snap. And if he do anything or say anything that even remotely seem like he being sassy in her eyes, he ain't gonna get it. So he gonna cater to her every need and simp back. He gonna accept her bad behavior. He's gonna he's gonna let it go. He's gonna just overlook it and
Mm,
make excuses.
mm,
Whether that's her. That's just how she is.
mm. All right. Now, watch this. You want? I could throw a monkey wrench in this whole fucking thing. If you sitting up here running around worried about your happiness all the time, are you really living in reality? Because is life happiness all the fucking time?
No, it's not. It's not.
Mm.
But then again, it can be, right?
Yeah, but what? But a motherfucker also might need to acknowledge, hey, this ain't the time for happiness. This is the fucking time for work.
Right.
Maybe, hey, maybe the reason you in that position is because you was too worried about happiness and didn't do the work. Now the
Wait, where's the extension? Never mind. I see.
work. Hey, how about do the work first and then that
Yeah.
may lead to happiness.
Hold on. Get him. 10 more minutes and I'm gonna cut it short.
How
Yeah,
about that?
I didn't hear you. What you say?
I said, how about doing the work? And if after you do the work, that may lead to happiness.
Yeah, and in some cases, you'll find happiness in the journey, inside the work.
Mm. You know,
Sometimes
it,
doing that work, moving that energy around makes you feel better.
I'm glad you said moving because I was just about to say something about moving. You heard about that person or whatever? Be like, man, I just want to move away from here. I think I'll be just so much happier. No, the fuck you won't. Because wherever you move, you gonna be waiting for yourself when you get there. Your ass is gonna be waiting, sitting in the chair like this. What the fuck took you so long? I've been waiting on you.
Yeah,
I'm still here. I'm still here. Hey, you ain't do nothing but change locations, but that emotions and all that you was running away from, I followed you here.
shit. Hey, I'm finna take this across the street, dude.
All right, man. Good smoking with you.
Yeah, man. And y'all remember that you're all stars, so shine like one.